Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttamaśloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Om Ajnanaतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. We are reading from Canto 4, Chapter 15, King Pṛthu's appearance and coronation. So, yesterday we have seen how Pṛthu Maharaj is a śaktyāveśa-avatāra. He is the Jiva Tattva, but he's empowered personality, very highly empowered personality. And yesterday we have seen many examples of śaktyāveśa-avatāra, like Narada Muni is a śaktyāveśa-avatāra. Parashuramji is a śaktyāveśa-avatāra. So on and so forth. So we come to the next text 4. Ayam tu prathamo rajñam puman prathayita yashah pruthurnamo maharaja bhavishyati pruthushravaha. Translation.
Of the two, the male will be able to expand his reputation throughout the world. His name will be Pṛthu. Indeed, he will be the first among kings. Purport. There are different types of incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Shastras, it is said that Garuda, the carrier of Lord Viṣṇu, and Lord Śiva and Ananta are all very powerful incarnations of the Brahman feature of the Lord. Similarly, Sachipati or Indra, the king of heaven, is an incarnation of the lusty feature of the Lord. Aniruddha is an incarnation of the Lord's mind. Similarly, King Pṛthu is an incarnation of the ruling force of the Lord. Thus, the saintly persons and great sages predicted the future activities of King Pṛthu, who was already explained as a partial incarnation of the plenary expansion of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So here, of the two personalities arrived. So of the two, male and female, Pṛthu will be able to expand his reputation throughout the world. Now look at the H of the his, right? It is small. Why? Because he is a Jiva Tattva. This is the precision at which the books are written. This is the precision at which the philosophy is being, very systematically observed and followed in every aspect of, this in the Sampradaya. His name will be Pṛthu. Indeed, he, again H is small, just note this, will be the first amongst the kings. So he will be the foremost of the king. So he is called as a Kalaya, but he is a Jiva Tattva. And nothing wrong with Jiva Tattva, we all are Jiva Tattva. But, one should not, calling somebody God is such a huge thing, right? So here it is a Pṛthu Maharaj. He is Pṛthushravaha. He will be very famous as celebrated King Pṛthu. Bhavishyatihi. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that there are different types of incarnations of the Supreme. And when even Jiva is also incarnation of Supreme. We have seen this previously. There is something called as Swamsha and there is Vibhinnamsha. So the Swamsha is the Jiva Tattva. Vibhinnamsha is also Amsha. right? But is separated part and parcel and is Jiva Tattva. So even the Jiva Tattvas are also calculated as incarnations of the Supreme from that perspective. So Garuda, and then there are the incarnations, Lord Shiva and Ananta are very powerful incarnations of the Brahman feature of the Lord. The especially exhibiting the tremendous potency and the power these personalities have. Later in the pastime, Samudra Manthan will see how powerful Garuda is, right? That the mountain which all the demigods, all of them put together, were unable to even move. Garuda took all the demigods, mountains, demons, everybody on his flap wings, and he just moved. Okay, this is the potency of Garuda. Garuda is extremely powerful. Lord Shiva is extremely powerful. He's Lord Viṣṇu himself, actually. We know that. Kshiram yatha dadi vikara. Similarly, Ananta. There is a beautiful video about how Ananta, maintains everyone. I will just put it in our WhatsApp group. Somebody just remind me later. The beautiful video about nowadays, thanks to AI, and it's, one way thank also and one way frightening also, that so many Bhagavatam kathas are coming up alive, because of the easy access to AI and the animations and everything else. More and more the AI will grow. In fact, the more and more technology will grow, more and more the Sanatan Dharma will spread, because it is just so scientific, it is just so beautiful, it is just so all encompassing, right? Sachipati Indra, he is a Jiva Tattva, but he represents the lusty feature of the Lord. Lusty feature of the Lord means there is a prema in the Supreme Lord, but when that prema reflects in the material world, Urdhva Moola Madashakam, Ashwattham Prahuravayam, the same prema becomes kama in the material world, right? And that is represented by Sachipati. Sachipati, Indra's wife's name is Sachi, and he is known as Sachipati, Indra, the king of the heaven. Aniruddha is the incarnation of Lord's mind. And similarly, Pṛthu, the ruling potency of the Supreme Lord. How to rule? Like Pṛthu. Okay. So like that we say Rama Rajya. Similarly, it is like Pṛthu Rajya. And this is how the saintly personalities and great sages, they began to glorify Maharaj Pṛthu for his very celebrated appearance. Text 5. Iyam chatusudati devi gunabhushan bhushana archinam vararoha Prithumeva Arundhati. Translation?
Translation: the female has such beautiful teeth and beautiful qualities that she will actually beautify the ornament she wears. Her name will be Arci. In the future, she will accept King Pṛthu as her husband. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Iyam cha Sudati Devi. Sudati. Sudati means very beautiful teeth, right? Devi, this Arci. Guna Bhushana Bhushaya. What a beautiful language. And the beautiful qualities, she actually will beautify the ornaments that she wears. Guna Bhushana Bhushaya. Archinam Vararoha. Okay, she is celebrated as Arci. Vararoha means actually very, very beautiful. And then Pṛthumeva Arundhati. And she will be very famous as the wife of King Pṛthu. So at times, these great personalities like here Arci Maharani, or later we will see, the personality like Shatarupa, who is wife of Swayambhuva Manu, and also wife of Bali Maharaj. Okay, they are such celebrated personalities that although their description may come only in like one or two words here and there, but what happens is these personalities will give a very critical guidance, right? Very something is to be done, and the person who is observing you the best is your spouse, husband or wife. And the input that will come from that section is a very, very different input. And one should always be appreciative of receiving that input. Right? Not that, the whole world glorifies me and why this input from you? Not like that. Because this is, this input will never come. The input which coming from one's husband or wife, the inputs which comes from one's children, the closest of the friends, they are very, very, very important inputs, and these are very unique inputs. Nobody else will be able to give this kind of input. Text 6. एष साक्षात् हरेरंशो जातो लोकररीक्षया इयं च तत्परा हि श्रीर् अनुज्ञते anapayini. Translation.
In the form of King Pṛthu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has appeared through a part of his potency to protect the people of the world. The goddess of fortune is the constant companion of the Lord, and therefore she has incarnated partially as Arci to become King Pṛthu's queen. Purport. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that whenever one sees an extraordinary power, he should conclude that a specific partial representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is present. There are innumerable such personalities, but not all of them are direct Vishnu Tattva plenary expansions of the Lord. Many living entities are classified among the Shakti Tattvas. Such incarnations empowered for specific purposes are known as śaktyāveśa-avatāras. King Pṛthu was such a śaktyāveśa-avatāra of the Lord. Similarly, Arci, King Pṛthu's wife, was a śaktyāveśa-avatāra of the Goddess of Fortune. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So these personalities in the form of King Pṛthu, Sakshat Harer Amsha Jato, Esha Sakshat Harer Amsha Jato, that the Supreme Lord has appeared as Pṛthu, Amsha, and similarly, similarly, Shri has appeared as Arci, incarnated accordingly. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains, Bhagavad Gita describes Tejasvinamah, that wherever we see the brilliance, one should know the mercy of the Lord very specifically flowing through this. Tejasvinamah, right? So there are, Prabhupada says here, there are many living entities who are having tremendous potency. And when we come across such personalities, tremendous potency, one should be filled with appreciation. There is always the chance that we may become envious. Right? So, Vishnu, what is this? Sometimes we may see, we are preaching to somebody and he may attend our Bhagavatam class, or he may attend our, and he may goes on to become a great personality or great preacher. Right? So that time we should not be reminding him or reminding one of ourselves, yeah, many aapko bhakti mein laya, many aisa kiya, many waisa kiya. No. Wherever there is talent, wherever there is tejas, we simply salute the tejas. Because that salute goes directly to the Supreme Lord. By appreciating the devotees who are great personalities, okay, we are actually directly appreciating more than directly appreciating the Supreme Lord. They will make progress by their prowess, and we will make progress by our appreciation towards them. Right? There is no competition anywhere. Text 7. Prashamsanti च smam tam प्रशंसन्ति स्म तं विप्रा गन्धर्व प्रवराजगुः मुमुचुः सुमनोधारा सिद्धान् नृत्यन्ति स्वस्त्रियः. Translation.
The great sage Maitreya continued, My dear Viduraji, at that time all the brāhmaṇas highly praised and glorified King Pṛthu, and the best singers of Gandharvaloka chanted his glories. The inhabitants of Siddhaloka showered flowers, and the beautiful women in the heavenly planets danced in ecstasy.
Yeah, so this is what the celebration began. Finally, before Pṛthu, who was the king? Vena. And from Vena, suddenly they had a Pṛthu, who is Sakshat Harer Amshah, there was a great delta is very high, right? Delta is Pṛthu Maharaj minus Vena. Okay, so this is the delta they received, and everybody was so happy that the singers from the Gandharva Loka, they began to sing, and the Apsaras began to dance. There were showers of flower from the demigods, and this is how the society was filled with ecstasy. Text 8. शङ्खतूर्या मृदङ्गाद्या नेदुदुन्दुभयादिभिः तत्र सर्व उपाजग्मुर् देवर्षि पितॄणां गणः. Translation.
Conch shells, bugles, drums, and kettle drums vibrated in outer space. Great sages, forefathers, and personalities from the heavenly planets all came to the earth from various planetary systems.
Yeah. So there's a great celebration. All these great personalities came to earth to celebrate coronation of King Pṛthu. Generally, they used to come to earth. Kali Yuga is so bad that nobody comes. Nobody comes. Like, how many times we have gone to the nearby Choppadpatti? Rarely, hardly. Kali Yuga is that kind of a, the thing for the demigods. But previously, all the demigods, they used to visit Kali Yuga, Earth planet. All the great sages used to visit. But this is the rare phenomena in Kali Yuga. Text 9 and 10. Now, who all? That is being mentioned here. Brahma Jagat Gurur Devaihi Sahasritya Sureshwaraihi Vainyasya Dakshine Haste Drishtva Chinnam Gadabhritaha Padayorev Aravindascham Padayoraravindascham Vaimene Hare Kalam Yasya Pratihatam Chakram Amshahasa Parameshthinaha. Translation.
Lord Brahma, the master of the entire universe, arrived there accompanied by all the demigods and their chiefs. Seeing the lines of Lord Viṣṇu's palm on King Pṛthu's right hand and impressions of lotus flowers on the soles of his feet, Lord Brahma could understand that King Pṛthu was a partial representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one whose palm bears the sign of a disc, as well as the other such lines, should be considered a partial representation or incarnation of the Supreme Lord. Purport. There is a system by which one can detect an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nowadays, it has become a cheap fashion to accept any rascal or as an incarnation of God. But from this instant, we can see that Lord Brahma personally examined the hands and feet of King Pṛthu for specific signs. In their prophecies, the learned sages and brāhmaṇas accepted Pṛthu Maharaj as the plenary expansion of the Lord. During the presence of Lord Krishna, however, a king declared himself Vasudeva, and Lord Krishna killed him. Before accepting someone as an incarnation of God, one should verify his identity according to the symptoms mentioned in the Shastras. Without these symptoms, the pretender is subject to be killed by authorities for pretending to be an incarnation of God.
You're not audible.
Oh, sorry. So here Lord Brahma is mentioned here as Jagat Guru. Jagat Guru is the master of the entire universe. Brahma Jagat Guru Devai Sahasritya Sureshwaraihi, and many other demigods, many the chief personalities of the universe, all of them arrived. And they could see the lines of Lord Viṣṇu's palm on Pṛthu's right hand, and also the impression of the lotus flowers on the soles of his feet. Right. So when there is a Daivi Purusha, some great personality, Mahapurusha, the appearance also will be revealed by their persona, the personality. Right. So this is, when they observed like this, they concluded that King Pṛthu is the partial representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, very, very specially empowered personality. One whose palm bears the sign of the disk, as well as all such lines, should be considered a partial representation or the incarnation of the Supreme Lord, although still he is a Jiva Tattva, right? So even Jiva Tattva can be extremely powerful. And there is, I mean, when we say Jiva Tattva, it is not that, it's not some derogatory or, some, it is not like that. It is just from the Tattva perspective, and not to be mistaken him as the Supreme, but he is, extremely empowered. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada mentions there is a system to detect an incarnation of the Supreme. So, the personalities will have these kind of, the chinna on the different parts of their bodies. Nowadays, Prabhupada writes here, it has become a fashion to accept any cheap person on the street to be the Supreme Lord. And especially in India, there is such a uh, obsession about declaring somebody as something. But that is not the case. Of course, there are great people, but there is a difference between great person and Ananta Koti Brahmanda Nayak. You just cannot label, every third lane in, India has one Jagat Guru. Every third city in India has Ananta Koti Brahmanda Nayak. Are they great personalities? They are, right? Here, Pṛthu is great personality. Even Indra and Brahmaji is coming for the coronation of Pṛthu, but still Pṛthu is not the supreme personality of Godhead. And therefore, any chieftain claims himself to be the supreme lord, then that should be at once rejected, right? To detect the incarnation, they should be mentioned in the Shastra, and they should have the symptoms on their body as mentioned in the Shastra. It is not that, somebody just goes around, puts a tattoo, and says that, see, I also have some lotus on my feet and this and that. And that is not the incarnation of the Lord. First thing is, your name should be there in the Shastra. Shastra, tasmat Shastra pramanam. And so it is not new, people claiming themselves to be supreme. Even at the time of Lord Krishna, there was this King Pṛthu. Later in 10th canto, we will see. And he put up two artificial arms and he was moving around as Vasudev. And such a funny instance, he wrote letter to Krishna saying that, Krishna, you are not, stop claiming yourself to be false Vasudev. Actually, I am Vasudev. And Lord Krishna killed him in the battle. So this is the process to identify, to detect the incarnation of the Supreme. Text 11. So now we come to the second section, 11 to 20. That is Coronation of Pṛthu Maharaj. This is the second section of this small chapter. It has only 3 sections and 26 verses. So, text 11. Tasyabhishek arabdo brahmannair-brahmavadivihi abhisheka achanabhi tasmair ajahu sarvato janah. Translation.
The learned
Translation:
Brahmanas. Go ahead, Math.
the learned Brahmanas, who were very attached to the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies, then arranged for the king's coronation. People from all directions collected all the different paraphernalia for the ceremony, thus, everything was complete.
Yeah. So, this is the preparation of the coronation of Pṛthu Maharaj. Text 12. Sarit samudra girayo nagagavah kagamrigah Dyaukshiti sarvabhutani samajahu upayanam. Translation.
All the rivers, seas, hills, mountains, serpents, cows, birds, animals, heavenly planets, the earthly planet, and all other living entities collected various presentations according to their ability to offer to the king. Hare Krishna.
So everybody was part of the coronation, and there are the groups of the living entities, and there are the chiefs of those groups of the living entities. All the rivers, river personified, right? The seas, the sea personified like Varuna Devata, hills, the Parvata Devata, serpents from the Nagalokas, all of them, cows, from the Surabhi, the chieftain of the Kauluka, Surabhi. Kauloka means Goloka, basically. Okay, but here, the similarly, the birds, all these personalities, they collected their presentations and they wanted to offer. So offering presentation is actually a sign of love. So it is dadati pratigrihnati, guhyamakhyati prichhati, bhungte bhojayate chaiva, shadvidhim priti lakshanam. So these are the priti lakshanam, and they have to be, so some simple gift. We have one very wonderful devotee in Pune, His Grace Revatipati Prabhu. And whenever we meet him or children meet him or something like that, he always has something to offer. Some picture of, Radha Vrindavan Chandra will be there. Some nice this thing of something, something of something. So what an amazing way of reciprocation, right? So offering simple gifts, like, we carry Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And if you come to temple, we have these 5 rupees small laminations. Chota chota laminations are there. Gajendra Moksha lamination. Ekdam pocket laminations. Must not be more than 4 centimeter by 4 centimeter, kind of a very small. And just have something. We should have something to give Krishna to others. And he does very well. Our Revatipati Prabhu does very well. He always surprises kids and, even us also. He has something to text 30. सोऽभिषक्तो महाराज सुवासा सार्ध अलङ्कृतः प्रत्न्यार्चिर् अलङ्कृततया विरजे अग्नि इवापरः. Translation.
Thus, the great King Pṛthu, exquisitely dressed with garments and ornaments, was coronated and placed on the throne. The king and his wife Arci, who was also exquisitely ornamented, appeared exactly like fire.
Yeah. So great King Pṛthu, he was exquisitely dressed with garments and the ornaments as he was coronated. And similarly, his wife Arci, she was also exquisitely ornamented and appeared exactly like fire. Just imagine, okay, the tejas of these personalities. Importance of dressing here. Okay, generally it is said that dress, of course, dress well before address. So it is very, very important to dress very, very well. And nowadays, the tip is nowadays, the cloth also is so long lasting that whatever we buy, it goes on for a long time. Fattai nahi kapda. So whenever we buy, better to buy very high class, and and then keep using that high class than using something otherwise, because many times the world is quite external and we are judged by our dressing, and dressing is important. It is not that only world is external. The dress also shows our intent. The dress, we have seen that sometimes in a devotee community, and I am the most guilty of this, that we are very casual in our dressing, but we have to dress fitting to the occasion. It's very, very important. Okay, simply being good is not enough. That goodness should be reflected by everything, including the dress and the shoes. Text 14. Tasmai jahara dhanado haimam veera varasanam varunas salilastravam apatrapam shashiprabham. Translation.
The great sage continued, My dear Vidura, Kuvera presented the great King Pṛthu with a golden throne. The demigod Varuna presented him with an umbrella that constantly spread fine particles of water and was as brilliant as the moon.
Yeah. So Kubera, Dhanada, he presented a golden throne, and Varuna, he presented an umbrella that constantly spreads the fine particles of the water, and which is the umbrella was as brilliant as the moon. These are the different things being presented to Maharaj Pṛthu. A couple more verses, we'll take it. Text 15. वायुश्च व्यालव्यजने धर्मं धर्मः कीर्तिं मैस्त्रजम् इन्द्रं किरीटमुत्कृष्टं दण्डं संयमनं यमः. Translation.
The demigod of air, Vayu, presented King Pṛthu with two whisks chamara of hair. The king of religion, Dharma, presented him with a flower garland, which would expand his fame. The king of heaven, Indra, presented him with a valuable helmet. And the superintendent of death, Yamaraja, presented him with a scepter with which to rule the world.
Yeah. So Vayu presented chamara. Okay, so the two beautiful whisks, chamara, were presented by Vayudev. Dharma gave him the flower garland, and now these are all celebrated, and these are all the heavenly gifts that would expand his fame. The known for wearing such a flower garland, and expanded his fame. King of the heaven Indra, he gave him the valuable helmet, and Yama, Dandam, Sanyamanam Yamaha. Sanyamanam is the ruling the world, right? The Yamapuri is also known as Sanyamani. Later we will see this Sanyamani. This is Yamapuri. He presented him Yamaraj. He presented him the Danda for ruling the world. These are the presentations by all these great personalities. So we will conclude here and continue tomorrow. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, everyone.
Hare Krishna,
Uh,
Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.
One small question.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, generally we hear this like now also we saw like the Gandharvas and all the other higher planetary people like showering flowers, playing kettle drums and all those things. So just want to understand how do they also know that truth is incarnation? I mean, we understand Brahma had visited and
Right.
found it, but how all these heavenly people kind of are they in so much awareness of what is happening in Bhumandala and what is like examined by Brahma, etc.
At times, yes. So why? Because that what people have an eye on what Brahmaji is doing, right? So they know that who is coming. Also, Pṛthu Maharaj is also mentioned in the Shastras. That is the second thing. So he's the, I mean, like we also know. Do we know? Yeah, we know. We know when Kalki, is going to appear. He's going to appear after 4,27,000 years. This knowledge will be lost in next 5,7,000 years, which is currently we are in the 10,000 years of Kali Yuga period, which is called as Suvarna of Kali Yuga. Then the very dense, dark Kali Yuga will begin. Right? Just imagine 400 years back what the dense darkness India has seen. Right? And then the entire knowledge will be lost. But you and me, we know right now that Lord Kalki is going to appear exactly from 4 lakhs, some 26,500, whatever X number of years from now. Do we know or not? We know. Similarly, because Pṛthu Maharaj is the Shastra mentioned incarnation, so people are aware across the universe. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhuji. I have
Yes.
a small question. In this verse, it is said Dharmaraja gave the garland and the Yamaraj. So Dharmaraj is Yamaraj. This was my understanding. Is it not so?
Good point. Dharmaraj is Yamaraj, but Dharmaraj, it is like Bhakti Devi and Vrinde Devi, so like that it is. So Dharmaraj is Yamaraj, and they are simultaneously same and different, both. So when we say Dharmaraj, it is Dharma personified, and Yamaraj, who is taking care of the. So what we can say is that the Prime Minister office and Narendra Modi ji. So Prime Minister office also glorified him, and Narendra Modi ji also glorified him.
Oh, okay, okay. And another thing is from the same body of Vena, Arci and Pṛthu Maharaj came out. So are they
Yes.
not like brothers, sisters,
No,
siblings?
because yeah, correct. No, they're not like siblings. They incarnated as the couple. They incarnated as the couple. And Acharyas write very elaborate commentary on that. How they incarnated as a couple.
Okay. A little bit. I could not exactly understand that, so I thought I'll ask. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
So Vena is a very bad person. So how can Pṛthu Maharaj come out the very good person in his dynasty?
So I mean, there are two things here. One thing is, the Lord is Swarat, and similarly, the incarnations of the Lord, even such personalities. Just like Srila Prabhupada, where ISKCON originated. ISKCON originated in a 10 by 10 room in New York, and within New York there is a New York ka Dharavi. India ka Mumbai ka Dharavi, New York ka Dharavi is that Bauri, and there ISKCON originated.
Yes.
So this is one thing. Second thing is that with the process of devotional service, anybody literally can be purified.
Yes.
So that devotional service is all powerful, all encompassing, right?
Yes. Very nice.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
I just wanted to share that I'm reading the third book now by Gaur Gopal Das ji.
Very good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Nice. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you, Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, everyone.